back to working on stuff. Finally. Although, I'm not working on tractors. I'm working on a lawnmower, which is sitting outside. I go out and take a look at it. This mower. Old ancient 61-inch zero turn. Been using it at old threshers here to mow out there, and pretty much that's all I've been using. It stays out there. Here lately, the deck blades wouldn't shut off at all. As soon as you start the engine up, they would sit there and run. So got to looking at it. Kind of figured it was a bearing locked up. So pulled the clutch off of it. I'll get back in here. Pulled the clutch off of it. Kind of pulled it apart. Here's the top part of the clutch. And this pulley here is what actually drives the belts on the deck. There's a bearing that goes in that hole there. That's supposed to be your idler bearing for whenever you disengage this electromagnetic clutch here. That's supposed to let the blade sit there and free spin. For a while there, I could run the mowers through some grass, some really tall grass, and get the thing to stop. But after a little bit of that and it sitting, it got to the point where it didn't matter what you did, the blade stayed on the whole time. So I got it apart, got this bearing out of here, and it's just a little NSK bearing, 6206DU, just a sealed bearing, but it is tighter than a drum. It won't spin at all, either direction. So it is completely locked up, which is why the belts ran the whole time on the deck. So got this drove out. There's a little spacer here that goes right there, and then this bearing is on top of that, and then there's a big bolt that clamps down between this and the shaft on the output of the mower over there. So it would run the belts the whole time. So got this drove out, and I'm going to call some auto parts stores and see if they can cross it to anything, and hopefully get it fixed here pretty soon, so that I can use it around here a little bit the rest of this year, and use it again next year. So let me get some calling on auto parts stores here and see if it crosses anything, and hopefully I can get it fixed pretty cheap like too. Signing off. Alright, just got off the phone with the wonderful auto parts guys, and they've got one on order for me. A whopping $20. I can live with that. I got to looking at this thing though. You can tell how hot this thing got just by the color of it. The outside there is purple, and the inside ring there's blue. There's the that's the side that normally faces down. You can't really see much there. But that's the back. So that's the side that was up inside the pulley. Man, that thing got hot. So I got it on order. Have it tomorrow, and this thing should be back to running here soon. I don't know that I'm going to drive it any, because I think that this bearing and all the clutch and everything is what holds the pulley on that runs the belts too for the driving, for the wheels. So I may hopefully just leave it sit there and work on it next week and get her back together and get her going. So hopefully this winter I'll start working on some tractors. I don't know what I'm going to work on yet. Back pasture here is getting kind of full. I may work on that Super C next that's back there. It runs, it drives, it's in good shape. I lift through the touch control works and all that. I got it going. It's in good shape. I can probably start painting it next. I'm going to take a walk down there. John Deere I think is good. There's nothing really wrong with it. I may paint that stack again, because that stack, you can't really tell. It's getting discolored just from the heat. But otherwise it's good. I don't have a problem with it. Wagon, I'm not going to mess with. That's Grandpa's. The A back here, that poor thing hasn't ran in a few years. Battery's dead on it. Its generator doesn't work. I need new tires for the back. It's that was the first one I restored. I just haven't had it out in a while. That's Dad's Cub, which hasn't been worked on lately. Kevin's Gibson back there in the corner. There's nothing else really of note back here. Some small garden tractors and engines and reel type mowers and wonderful things like that. Dual garden tractors like. Yeah, that's how I park my trailer, by the way. That's Kevin's new purchase. Runs good. He's been using it for mowing. Brush hog. Haven't used it this year. I haven't been able to mow. I've been too far away. B is for sale. If anybody wants it, it's what you see is what you get. There's another transmission case there. The engines are toast. In fact, I think that liner that I was just using in there came out of this thing. I've been fighting off a cold too. Yeah, it's in rough shape. You know, there's brake pedal rods all bent up. It's in rough shape. I don't know what I'd be able to do with that. It's my brush hog. Here's a C, Super C. It's fairly good condition. Decal's been all painted over. I don't know who did that. But it runs. It's a distributor. It's not magneto. So battery's dead right now. I won't even crank. Or even if I hand cranked it, it wouldn't start because there's no battery. It's one of the bad things about distributors. I want to try and put a magneto on that thing. If I can find one. Otherwise, it's in good shape. I don't really have any problems with it. I might take that goofy 3-point attachment thing off of there. But it's in good shape. I think it's still got calcium in the tires too. I usually use it for pushing snow. That's Kevin's H. Haven't really done anything with it. It just kind of sits outside, and the north side gets all fungusy. Dad's John Deere A. I think he's wanting to sell it. Let me get a spider web in my mouth. 14, I believe. We usually use it for Christmas decorations. Actually, I haven't done that in several years either. It needs some work. It's together though. It's complete. Massey Ferguson 3-point brush hog, jeez. 3-point, 3-bottom plow. Nothing wrong with it, except it's missing the ID tag. I don't even know where I'd find one. Then there's this John Deere plow. I just got the hitch off of it because that one was completely wore out. That's the one I was using for parts and stuff. This one I want to get back together and get it working again. Actually, this was the hitch off of it. This one was all mangled and tore up. And the adjustment link was all bent up. So I found this one off eBay. It's in good shape. It's all free and stuff. And then new hitch. And Kevin just threw it on there to get it moving. I think this one this hitch I got from a guy in the Old Thrashers Club. But I've got new mold board for this one that's cracked. That one's missing the chisel part of it. But I've got halfway decent chisel there, and I got 1 or 2 mold boards in there that I can reuse. And I've got a bunch of new hardware too for that thing, so I need to get it back together. That's the old wheel that was all mangled. I think that one came off of this one. This one was in better shape than that one because it has the tail wheel still. But I think it works. I got the clutch working on it. The clutch is good. Trip clutch. This wheel is kind of wobbly, but they always are. I'm not too worried about it. John Deere Sycamore. It's there, sort of. It needs some work, I think. We haven't moved it in years. Farmall Little Genius plow. It's kind of rough. The handle's, of course, missing, but it's mostly there. That needs a different wheel. That's got to have a ribbed wheel on it, otherwise the clutch won't work. But it's there. It's all together. The coulters are there. It's in decent shape. Kevin's Minneapolis. But that's the fence row. Gotta figure out what the next project's going to be, and go from there. See what happens in the next few months. I've been kind of busy here. Got married, in case you didn't know. So, and trying to get things all sorted out at the new house and get life sorted back out. I'm living further away now, so I'm not going to be able to work on tractors near as much until I get a place that's big enough with a shop and everything on it. But we'll go from there. Just kind of play things by ear. There's a Ferguson or Ford. I can't remember now. Ferguson 3-point sickle mower. There's another pieces of one in there somewhere, all over the place. I'd like to get those out and get them working again. Scrapped. But yeah, that's what's happening. Not a whole lot. Yeah, I guess I'll pick up. There's not much I can do right now. We'll see y'all later.